Let's continue to break down our sample questions together. To remind you of our methodology, we'll first identify the critical parts of the stem, go through the responses, and find the key. We'll also explore why certain responses are correct and why the distractors were not. As a quick reminder, while the questions we're using for these reviews are the same difficulty level and structure as those on the real exam, these are not from the real exam. To use those questions would break the terms and conditions of the AWS certifications to share actual exam questions. This question is related to the monitoring, logging, and remediation domain, and specifically to implementing metrics, alarms, and filters through AWS monitoring and logging services. So, here's the stem. A company monitors its AWS environment with Amazon CloudWatch and has configured several CloudWatch alarms. When an alarm is triggered, both the developer and the product manager must be notified immediately. Which service offers the most flexibility in delivering the notice? Before we look at the answers, let's break this down to identify what we're actually looking for. Looking at the stated question, this tells us that we're looking for an AWS service to help us solve something. That something being to deliver notices. Looking back, we can see details about which notices we're trying to deliver. We are trying to notify both the developer and the product manager, and they must be notified when an alarm is triggered. And the alarms we're talking about are Amazon CloudWatch alarms. So, having evaluated all of that, what are we looking for? To rephrase, we're looking for which service will provide flexibility in notifying both the developer and the product manager when a CloudWatch alarm is triggered. Depending on your knowledge and experience level with AWS, you may already have a solution in mind. So let's look at what options we have. It looks like the options that are available to us are Amazon Simple Email Service, Amazon Simple Queue Service, Amazon Simple Notification Service, and Amazon MQ. Now that you see the full stem and the response choices, take some time to try and determine the key. We'll give you about 7 seconds, but feel free to pause the video if you want more time. All right, are you ready? This is your last chance to pause the video. I'm going to reveal the key in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. The key for this question is the third choice, SNS, but I'm sure you want to know why. Well, let's go through them. First up is SES. This is a cloud email service and is only used for email delivery. There is a chance it could work, but it would require a lot of extra workarounds. When we're looking for an answer, we're looking for the most direct path, and we don't want to add extra work unless it's specifically stated in the stem. The second choice is SQS. This is a queue service, and similar to SES, it would require a bit of extra work to deliver its messages to multiple receivers. So while the first two choices might work, they would require additional building in order to manage them as solutions. Let's move on. The third choice, our key, is SNS. This service integrates well with CloudWatch and allows the delivery of notifications through several methods. This directly solves the problem presented in the stem and meets all of the requirements. That is why it's the key. The last choice is Amazon MQ. MQ is a managed message broker service for Apache ActiveMQ, and it's mostly used to exchange information between different systems. While the distractors might seem feasible, we were looking for the most direct path to the solution, and one that provided all of the asks from the stem. The only answer that met all requirements was SNS. Determining this tests your ability to create triggered events for Amazon CloudWatch alarms, and SNS is the preferred method to deliver CloudWatch alarm notifications. But even with deep knowledge of services and features, It's important that you are picking the solution that best matches what the STEM is requesting and try not to overthink the situations.